So this is our marketing cloud. So one thing before we start into A and B testing, uh, yesterday we spoke about in detail email, all the options available as a part of our email studio in terms of not email studio, content builder to be precise, what all options are there. I also wanted to quickly touch base upon a couple of things that I think is relevant and it came as an afterthought today. So let's say if I go to content for this email which I've already created and I go to, let's say for this one, sorry, for this one, I double click on it, edit or double click on it like that. So assumingly, whatever you told yesterday, the kind of work that you do is you create HTML reusable components and actually import it directly over here. So instead of using the standard out of the box features, my presumption was most of the times what you do is you have HTML script ready and you actually directly import it over here, correct? Okay, I'll take it as yes. So in that case, if in case these are the three good options that you can utilize. So these are again three options that you can utilize. Remember I was talking about code snippet yesterday and I was not able to show you where it was because it was logged and I was using a wrong, which was pointed out by you rightly. So this is where if you go onto a particular block, which is of, let's say in this case, text type, you will get three options. I will talk about the first one. So this is about insertion of code snippet. These are some out of the box default system snippets that are already provided. Let's say subscription center, powered by logo and all those things, which are standard. But if you don't want to use that, you can have your custom ones created. So if you remember, we created a code snippet yesterday. So you can actually you utilize it over here. So that's what I was trying to show you yesterday, which I couldn't. So, or you can have a, I'm not getting an option to create one, so probably something to do with access, but you can create a code snippet from here itself. Okay, so that flexibility is here. So this is the first option that you should utilize even if you are inserting the HTML over here. Then the next one is personalization. Again, I'm presuming you have fair idea about that, but still I'll go through that because this is something important. So there are a couple of things that you can actually import and place it over here directly. Let's say I'll point it over here. So it's all about personalization. So let's say first name automatically. I mean, I know you can do it directly like that, but this is out of the box feature given to you in case you are not aware of the spellings, exact spellings of the columns. Another thing that you can do over here is you can choose the data source to which these things are getting populated. So right now this first name is populated for a data extension that I had created. So this it is pointing to the data extension. I'll go to my data extension. I currently pointed it to this one. Hence it is pulling all the values, attribute values from this table. You can point it to anyone if you want and then take advantage of this function. So all the attributes of that particular data extension will appear over here. Apart from that, there are some other attributes as well. Out of the box default system attributes. So for example, email name, job ID, member ID, subscriber key, these are all the system attributes. I don't recollect why will you use subscriber key in some of the cases because that ID is already presented in that div. But just in case if you want to do that, these default system attributes are at your service. You can simply insert it like this over here. So this is a good option to use in case you want to insert values and stop typing because typing might have some errors. So this can be helpful. Next one is the beast of all the things, AMP script. So AMP script, these are out of the box some standard functions that are provided. So if you want to use it, utilize it over here, you can do it directly from this editor as well. And of course, you guys use it in the HTML format. So I'm presuming AMP script would be a part of that template which you are creating. But in case you want to use it, you can use this function as well, this feature of HTML editor as well, and use it for your advantage. Okay, that's all the functions, but these are pretty straightforward. Anybody who has worked in IT would understand what it means. So straightforward ones. So this is one thing that I wanted to share. Let's say I use, for example, uppercase. So I can put a data over here and use it as an uppercase just for that purpose. So this is what I wanted to cover, which was kind of afterthought. Were you aware of that? Did you ever use this functionality? I mean, let me ask the second way. Did you use this functionality ever, features of this one, or it was directly into HTML snippet code and then that's it?
No, we have used the basic personalization tags of first name, last name, and everything, but we have not used AMP scripts in while coding.
So okay, so I was under the presumption that the HTML script that you spoke about, and I'm using these words very generically, everyone, scripts, components, This is more of a generic. I'm not talking too much technically in the system, but then all these reusable components that you create, let it be HTML format, does it contain AMP script as well, or it doesn't at all, or how? So I'm presuming it should be there. It would be there. But if it is not the case, let me know.
No, it's actually based on the requirements. If the
Mm-hmm.
client provides us with the AMP script, we add it on top of the HTML and provide the content blocks as it is with the AMP scripts. Otherwise, we just create the HTML and the content blocks, nothing else.
Okay. So in the second case, if client doesn't provide you, so it's all about HTML and static template, correct?
Yeah.
So who adds AMP script if it is added at all? So basically you're saying that template doesn't require AMP script, or clients adds it later on to it.
So, yes, basically we are not offering that as a service right now, but if the client has any issues with their AMP scripts, we
Mhm.
have someone in-house to have it solved for us, and but we are not offering AMP script as a primary service
Oh, is
right
it?
now.
So it's more about, if I get it correctly, email marketing, but it's more, AMP script is not provided as a part of that. So it's more of a HTML, JavaScript, that kind of service, correct?
Pankaj, actually, Mscript is normally we have a in-house team of two or
Mm-hmm.
three people who is have
Mm-hmm.
a pretty much experience to creating a new Mscripts, but
Mm-hmm.
when and where they are already occupied with our big clients and they are already occupied with it. So this is the basic agenda and the purpose to creating and to scheduling a training like a person like yours to have a everyone aware that how we can create a new M scripts and everything. For a normal customers, we directly ask them to take M script can be taken care from their end, right?
Mm-hmm.
If in case they do have a M scripts, then we can generally incorporate to our HTML code and we can make it template could be editable and in terms of whatever the M scripts. I'm not so technical sounded because I'm coming from the sales background, but
Okay.
whatever they are used for, then we can incorporate that those into that particular campaign.
So that's what actually a good insight into something that I was not aware. So thanks for that. So I'll just quickly talk about it over here right away. So personalization is fine, correct? Personalization, you choose a data source, you choose to which data from these personalization will be picked. So essentially, technically, we are saying data extensions. Okay, so it goes to this test data extension, for example, in the system. These all attributes will be pre-filled as a part of personalization depending on the record, correct? So for example, let me do that over here. So save this, saved, and then I'll go to next. Okay, so right now you see, so these attributes, this is my data extension that has created test, and I had pointed it over there. So all the attributes, so over here, so it was so first name, for example. So first name, this was a subscriber key that I've actually imported. So this is directly getting picked from here. So if I just point it to the next one, see, it changes again. So first name remains the same, but subscriber key changes. So this is the kind of personalization out of the box that is provided at this stage. And of course, you can strengthen in with AMP script that we'll be talking about. But for now, this is what I wanted to talk about. And if I go a step back, doing the same thing with AMP script. So AMP script, again, it's a scripting language which is native to Salesforce Marketing Cloud, but the basic construct remains the same across. The way you set the variables, the way you there's a certain standard syntax to it, so you call the functions, you do certain standard functions. So for these are the some standard functions. So like for example, concatenate. You want to concatenate two strings, you can do that. You can format it, format currency. We will see that in detail. But format date, if that you want to format a date in a particular format number, so uppercase, lowercase, all these kind of things can be simply done at this stage by the help of these functions which are provided. You can insert it manually if you want. If you are good at AMP script and you're comfortable, you can add it over here. But this is something more of a content manager perspective, the content builder, sorry, who the person who will be creating this content, who might not be very well versed with the system technically in terms of AMP script, in terms of too much HTML JavaScript. So it will be a better functionality for him to actually use these functions standard. So that is the use case for these three options that I just showed it to you: code snippet, attributes, system attributes, and your data extension attributes. And these are some AMP script standard functions that you can utilize at this level. More of it in terms of AMP script. and the sessions to come. But yeah, so this is the basic construct I wanted to talk about before moving on to A/B testing, split testing, as it is called in the digital marketing space. So is it clear? Shall we move on to the next section?
Yes, please.
Okay. And I think we covered preview and test, how you can send test and all those things. So that is clear, correct?
Yes.
Fine. So next important thing is A/B testing, split testing, A/B testing, the way you want to call it. These are different terminologies in the market that by which it is called. It's a very generic, basic thing that you do. It's not related to Salesforce. It's a standard digital marketing practice. What it means is basically two versions of the same thing and one variable is different. And based on the users, so basically over here user tell you what would be the better one, and it's kind of a beta testing in the market that you do. So you send your new product to the people in the market with certain small set of people, and you gain their feedback. Based on that you improve your product. Okay, as everywhere ever this beta product testing, what it means, beta product.
Yes,
Yes, yeah.
Yes. So similarly, in the same lines, A/B testing, split testing is what you basically create. I'm just giving you an example now since I've spoke about the definition. What you do is, let's say you create two email templates, okay, and you want to see what happens if I place my logo, let's say on the right hand side instead of the left hand side, or you want to change the color of a sidebar slightly. How the people will gauge, how the people will actually react to that. So you are not sure about it. So what you do is you ask the people themselves. How do you do that? You simply send two versions of this email to a certain set of people. Let's say a data extension which has got 50,000 records. So you send, let's say, 20,000 records to one set of email template, and rest 30,000 with another one, and you gauge their response. When you say gauge their response, what it means is basically, the standard technical term would be to see how many of them are clicking, how many are opening those emails. Based on that response, what is the open rate for the, let's say template 1 is 20,000 subscribers and template 2 was 30,000 subscribers. So based on their responses, you would like to actually implement that. So if people in template number 2, people are opening it more, that means people are liking it. So you want to make that template as the final one instead of template 1 in which the open rate was less. So that's the basic philosophy behind testing that. So you send it to users to tell that which is the one to which they are more receptive, and based on their receptiveness you actually make the changes. Okay. And do you use your A/B testing, split testing in Salesforce Marketing Cloud for your customers?
Yes, we are.
Great. So what I'll talk about is, right now, generally there's the concept of challenger and the inherent. So inherent is, for example, template 1 and template 2. We already are using template 1 for certain things, and we want to try changing, tweaking something. Maybe it could be a subject line. Maybe it could be one of the images, maybe some kind of text that you are changing, but one at a time. So you send it to the users. So basically there are two concepts: the inherent, the one that we are already using, and the one which is challenger, the one who was actually challenging the inherent one, saying that, okay, what if I try making a change like that. So that is the concept. So let me quickly jump on to how to do that. So for everybody's convenience, I had actually created one set of A/B testing which is still running. If you can see, it runs for 24 hours. Okay. And just wanted to show you the dashboard, how it looks like. So it says it started yesterday this time, CST time. I'm pretty sure this is CST time, not IST. And then I had chosen my test D, which I had created two records onto that. So and one of them I opened it, other one I didn't. So that's what it shows: unique opens 0%, and subject A, the first template and the second template. So that's the results for you. So that is what will happen after 6 hours have passed, around 24 hours of creating this A/B test. So again.
Pankaj,
Mhm.
uh, I have a question.
Mhm.
For example, if we have scheduled a particular email for a particular time, for example, if we do not want that the test should continue for 24 hours, because usually we do not send an email for a duration of 24 hours. We schedule it for a particular time, depending upon the region and
Mhm.
the which is the best time to send an email to the target audience that we have.
Mhm.
So, what can we do that in this too? that for
Okay.
a particular time the
Mm-hmm.
emails get sent and then it stops.
Correct. So there are two cool things to your question. First of all, the answer technically, the answer is yes. Okay, you can do that. Secondly,
Okay.
if you're looking at this screen, this is the amount of time it is waiting after it has sent the email. The email has been sent. It is supposed to wait 24 hours. The reason being, once you get an email as a subscriber, you don't open it then and there. Sometimes people
Hmm.
don't open it for days, sometimes months, sometimes they open it on the same day. So there has to be a certain limit of time to which this test should wait. Or in fact, any email activity, if you are, so this is a generic thing to be honest, even if you are using sending an email in a journey builder as a best practice, you should put a wait time before actually getting the engagement data, because you should give a time for users or subscriber to actually open that email. No, so you cannot simply say that as soon as you send an email, give me the engagement data. But people wouldn't have opened it. You need to give
Yeah.
them some time, couple of days, ideally couple of days, to let them open it, and then the system will track it.
Hmm.
Okay?
No, I thought that Salesforce, the system is itself, distributing the entire list and sending the emails in the intervals in the duration of a 24-hour day. That is
No,
what
no,
I
no, no.
thought.
It's correct.
It
So
sends at a particular time, but it waits for the performance for the 20
correct,
for the
correct,
period of 24 hours. All
correct.
right,
You can
all
do
right.
both instantaneously as well as schedule a time. So you can do both things.
Okay,
So I'll show
sure.
you that.
Thanks. Huh.
Yeah. So this is the dashboard that I had created yesterday. So I'll go to create A/B test. It seems my internet thankfully is back. Okay. So four parts to this: test creation, test management, who are the recipients, so basically to whom it will be sent, who is the winner, final winner, and then send management. So there's one more functionality that I'll show you. So it also says you can also automate. Let's say I took an example of a data extension which has got 50,000 subscribers. So you tell for email template 1 send it to 15,000 people, email template 2 send it to, let's say again, 15,000 people. So rest 20,000 people are left. Based on the winner, who is the winner in first template or second template, you send the rest of it, the 20,000 which is remaining, based use that template. So you can do that automation as well over here. Okay, understood? So you need not to wait. System will automatically send the chosen template to the rest of the subscriber.
Yes.
Okay, so over here, I mean, simple again, name. Okay, so these are the different types of tests that can be performed in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. When I say types of tests, what are the variables that will change between the two templates that will produce the results? As I said, there should be some variable which is changing. Rest apart remains the same in both the templates. So what are the variables? So let's say subject line. So there are two emails, subject line is different. That's it. Rest all remains the same. There are two emails different, two different emails altogether. Then there are content areas. So within an email, there could be multiple content areas. So you can actually see that which content area is doing better. We'll see that. From names. So the name from which sender, so sender, if you see from email, from name in the email that is coming, so those, that can be a difference. What is the better one? So you can choose. So this is the type of test. Send date and times. You want to send it at a particular time and see how the people are responding. That can also be a kind of a testing. And it's, as I said, it's central time. So be aware of that. And pre-header, again, pre-header is also there. Okay, is everyone aware what is a pre-header? What is everyone aware?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the subject one. So you need to choose an email template and the subject will be different. That's it. That's this thing. Where is my email? Let me choose this. I am not sure this is the one which is working, but let's see. Okay, so this is the pre-header. This is the, for example, subject line. Let me choose a different subject line. Okay, and then I'll go to next. So basically I'm saying the email template remains the same, the subject will be different. Let me see how the people respond. So that is what we are saying in this case. Okay, so now manually you can choose recipients, which is nothing but data extension that we are talking about, suppression list and exclusion list over here if you want to. So list Data extension, data filters. We'll choose data extensions in our case. Yes, this is my data extension. It has got 2 subscribers, by the way. Deduplicate data extensions by email address. So if there are 2 email addresses, what it means is basically if 2 records with the same email, it won't send the 2 emails out of it. It will send only 1 email. That is what it means. I have 2 emails, 2 records with the same email, hence I'm not checking it. Okay. So now over here, you can actually adjust what the amount or the number of subscribers that will be sent to one subject line or second subject line, and what happens to the remainder. So let's say you can choose testing 100% or 2 of 2 subscribers. Okay. So see, this is subject line A. So we are suggesting 25%, another 25% to subject line B, and the rest 50% is the remainder, to which it will go automatically based on the results. Okay, you can use this drag and drop to do that. Understood? Okay, we'll
Yep.
move on. So now
Pankaj,
it's just trying to.
I had one question. What is the difference between suppression list and exclusion list? Aren't they the same
So
thing?
no, those separate. Okay, suppression list. If you remember, we spoke about suppression list is something what. Yes, now I remember. I just it went off my mind. Suppression list is something do not call. Okay. So for example, you already know that these are the based on your prior experiences, these are the spam ones which won't work, and actually it is reducing your IP reputation. So you include it in the suppression list, and it keeps on increasing slowly and slowly. The more times you send data and you get bounces, you keep on adding in that. So that is suppression list. Okay, and you
Yep.
attach it to a particular data extension that we covered. What was the exclusion? Exclusion is something, for example, if you are sending emails to 2 data extensions, okay, and you use exclusion list, so there would be, let's say, for example, there would be two data extensions with 10 subscriber each. Okay, so there would be
Yep.
some common ones in them as well. So for example, 2 of them are common in both of them, for example. So if you use an exclusion list, okay, that you have already built, that means it will not send the data twice to those people. Understood? So that is the basic difference.
Is it possible if I have a DE in recipients that has, let's suppose, 10 records, and out of
Mhm.
those 10 records, 2 of them are also in another data extension that I am excluding? So does
Mhm.
that mean it won't go to those 2 people that I have excluded from the main data extension?
So you are sending in the second one as well?
No, I'm saying my
Mhm.
recipient data extension has 10 records,
Correct.
and 2 of those records are also in another data extension or another list
Mhm.
that I have added as exclusion,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? So does
Correct.
that mean that it won't go to those 2 people?
Yes.
Okay.
There's one more concept since you have touched base upon. It was not mentioned over there. There's also something called auto suppression list. Suppression list. There's another auto suppression list on top of it. So what I'll do is I'll double check on that. But I got to remember that what it was basically you can add domains as well. So that's what my understanding is. I'll double check and let you know. But there's also one more aspect called auto suppression on top of suppression. So I'll double check at the definition, but as far as I remember, it's something around, if you can add domains as well into that. So for example, something at gmail.com, so that everything will be excluded from that domain. But let me double check and get back to you. But this is also there, auto suppression list.
Okay.
Okay, so now we come on to the third one. Who is the winner? Based on what factors do we say is a winner? So it's higher unique open rates or higher click-through rates. And can anybody tell me what is the difference between open rate, unique open rate, and unique click-through rate, CTR? Yes, I'm waiting.
Can you repeat that again, please?
Okay, so what I wanted to know was, can anybody help me in understanding what is open rate, what is unique open rate? There are two different things actually, technically different, and there's click-through rate, CTR, which is a standard term. So open rate, unique open rate, sorry, and the second one click-through rate. Ladies first.
Okay.
Carry on, Chandni.
So, if a recipient opens an email for multiple times, it would be
Mhm.
counted under the total number of opens. And
Mhm.
to calculate the open rate, it would divide the number of opens by the number of sends. And to
Mhm.
calculate the unique open rate, if a recipient is opening it multiple times, it would count it as one only. So, the number of unique opens means that if each recipient is recipient if opening multiple times, then also it is counted as one. So the number
Correct.
of unique opens divided by the number of recipients is unique open rate.
And what happens if I actually forward that email to someone else and they open it? For example, I opened it and then I forward it to a friend
Yes,
of mine who also opens it.
but that recipient is not in our list, right? So
Correct, it's
the
not.
system wouldn't know. So it won't count it in our open rate.
There is a function in email content, forward to a friend. I'll just remind me once we are done with the today's session. If there is time, I'll show you that there is a special function which visual component that you can use which says forward to friend. So basically, it enables you to do that. So you can
Okay.
actually read that. So it's a component altogether. So basically, the crux of matter is it won't be unique. Simple saying.
Yes.
Unique would be something like I get an email, I open it once, one unique rate, that's it. One unique open.
Yes.
And rate is
Yes.
obviously divided by it, but one unique open. If I open it 10 times, it will be one only.
Yes.
Okay. And
Correct.
I missed out kind of CTR. What did you mention about CTR click through
Yeah,
rate?
so click rate is the number of clicks divided by sends, but click through rate is the number of clicks which were done by the people who opened our email. So the number of clicks divided by the number of opens is click through rate.
Correct. So basically, clicks on the email. That's what it is. So it's not only about
Y-
opening it. It's only basically the idea is the impression is you have actually read it. So that's the
Yes.
usage of it. So again, coming back to our definition, based on what factors do we want to say that which subject line in this case has one. So let's, in our example, we'll take higher unique open rate. Okay, for larger sense, evaluation period. So this is the configuration. Remember we spoke about for how long you want to hold it. So I had by default it was 1 day, 24 hours for me. You can change it. Okay, we'll move on. Coming back to our split testing. Okay, so now start test immediately. Chandni, over here, you can send us emails right now, or you can schedule it. Okay, schedule for later. And from options, these are just understand it for now. Send classifications. I'll talk about in once I'm done with split testing today. I'll talk about it in a bit detail. But basically, select from a name. So these are the people who are registered in this already been configured in this system on which from name will be there. So if you get an email, from name will be one of these whatever I set. So for example, if I set this one, so I'll be getting emails which says from Bhuvan. Yeah. Then send classification. This is nothing but can spam related ones. Okay, quick one. What is a can spam? Okay, send options, default settings. Okay, email notifications. Again, standard. You can set it to yourself, anyone. Winner is declared. Okay, these are again the settings that we spoke about. At which stage you want to send email. So like for example, when the winner is declared, if error happens, email is sent, and all those things. So at what stage you want. Let's say I select all three of them, and then I think my work is done. Yes, so just confirm all the settings that I have just configured. So let me just double check because email will go. Just wanted to confirm, have I selected the test D only? Just wanted to confirm once so that uh, I should get the emails. I don't want anybody else to get the emails. Just let me double check and then again I'll traverse back. So just a minute, and I'll show you that email as well. I mean, there's nothing to show in that email, but yeah, test D is there. So this was functionality I spoke about automatically. So it will check 25%, for it will send the 25% of subscriber in that data extension email template with the subject 1, 25% with subject 2, and the winner, whoever is the winner in terms of this click, I think it was I selected in the last screen, it will automatically send the rest 50% to the winning subject line. So automatic or manually you can set that. So for now I'll put manual, but there is I don't have a third one, so I need to add it. So let me put my name over here. Okay, so quickly coming back, I wanted to show you another aspect of it. So these are the two testings that we're doing. So if you see 1 hour 28 minutes, I don't know, I chose 1 hour 30. I thought it was 1 day only. It will wait for 1 hour 20, 1 day 28 minutes. So I thought I chose 1 day only. But anyways, so this is about to get completion. Now I would have got the emails. I'll go and click one of them. so the one that subject A and B, it will become 100%. So do you want to see that as well? It's just that going to Gmail and clicking that. So that's anyways over here. What I want to talk next about was other aspects of A and B testing, other types of. So I think that is conclusive that it will change the numbers, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me do the other one. And in the meantime, anyways, internet is also slow. I'm trying to configure the second one, which would be similar on the similar lines. Anyone, would you want to elaborate on any use case, interesting use case that you did A and B testing for? And do clients prefer doing A and B testing all the time? Because this is something, it's a testing. So do clients prefer doing it every time? What is the specific scenario that they want to do it? In this case, let's do NB testing. Because according to my understanding and experience, it's more of a trying to find out if this works, if that works or not. So can
Yeah. So
anybody elaborate on that?
for my previous clients, what they had introduced was a safety seal, kind of a guarantee seal in their email saying that
Mm-hmm.
this is 100% guarantee, authentic product,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And they were
Mm-hmm.
placing it at different areas of the email, and they just wanted to test if they put that safety seal on the top, that does that gain more click to open rates, or if
Mm-hmm.
they put it at the footer, or if they
Mm-hmm.
put after the product CTA. And so
Mm-hmm.
that way they wanted to check what gets more response. And sometimes obviously it is just subject line they want to test, like
Mm-hmm.
which customer responds to what kind of subject line.
Mm-hmm.
If they have a discount or save word in the subject
Mm-hmm.
line, that gets more attention, or just a plain offer subject line that gets more attention. And
Okay.
sometimes we did A/B testing for a special entire different emails. So in one segment, there was an area, for example, Bordeaux in America, and
Mm-hmm.
they were sent two different products, one segment, and was seen that that segment reacts better to which product A or product B. So they were entirely two different emails, and we
Okay.
checked everything on that: open rates, click to open rates, how they responded to which product.
And what was the timelines? I was interested to understand till what time you waited to gather their responses. I'm pretty sure
Uh,
at least
so
minimum
for
couple of days.
For emails, we used to wait a couple of days, but for
Mm-hmm.
subject lines, we used to wait like 2 to 3 hours at max. So that
Okay.
it depended on what are we testing. So if it was subject line and the emails like were supposed to go out on at 8 a.m. in the morning, we used to send out the
Mhm.
winner email at noon, something like that.
Okay, I mean, out of curiosity, why would you not wait on subject cases as emails? So basically, anyways, the idea is to logically wait for users to actually see that email and give them some times, couple of days to actually see that email and open it in case they're really busy. So I don't know how does it make a difference that if you are making a test type as, for example, emails or subject lines, it's the same thing, no?
So what the difference in the emails part was, it was going out to the same audience, and no other email was going out to that audience for at least another week. But the client, for other subject lines and the other purposes, they were sending out at least 5 emails per day. And if they kind of waited 2 days to see how
Okay.
the reaction of that audience, they wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have they wouldn't be able to send to that audience for like next couple of days until they get their results. So for that
Okay.
purpose, they wanted to wait less. But for the specific emails that is going out to specific segment, they
Mm-hmm.
knew that all right, this segment has an A/B test of emails that gone out on Monday, so we won't be able
Mm-hmm.
to send anything until Thursday, and they used to plan accordingly.
Okay, so makes sense. This is a business requirement wherein they want to send it very fast turnaround time. Hence, the time they chose was less. So that's good.
Also, using analytics, we understood that most of their audiences kind of reacted to the email as soon as it arrived. So after
Oh, is
about
it?
6 to 7 hours, there
Mm-hmm.
was not much activity. So there didn't make any sense to wait for 24 hours, because we knew that after 6 hours there is not going to be any much more activity other than, let's say, 0.5% or something.
And what component in Salesforce of Einstein did you use, or is it was it something else?
No, no, this is just A/B testing. We used to use Google Analytics for that. They
Oh,
had
Google
different.
Analytics.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, fine. So that makes sense. I mean, thanks for adding. I mean, a sincere request to every one of you over there. If you have some use case, something related to what we are talking about, please add on. So it will help everyone in the call or this session, including me. So that would be really helpful. So add whatever interesting anecdotes you have, any experiences with a product or a client of your, which is basically related to what we are talking about. So please add so that it increases the experience of everyone around over here.
Sure.
Yeah. So okay. So over here we are just comparing plain simple from names, two from names. Remember from which it will be sent. So let's say which are already configured in the system. For example, I'm choosing Chandni in this case and Chintan in this case. So just wanted to gauge how people are reacting. Okay, I have to name it. I don't want to jinx it, but today our voice quality in the broadband is actually good today. See, so this is what I wanted to show. So automatically when the winner is declared or at a scheduled time. Okay. So this is, I wanted to, let's say, I don't want to use a scheduled time because I need to recalculate into CST, and also I don't want to use it right now. So manually, and then user send classification. So that is what, I mean, I want to finish it, but from name. Okay. So that is what I wanted to talk about, the second use case, just in order to show that setting to you. Okay, so now this was around A and B testing. I also found out a good link wherein it spoke about some of the best practices in order to use A and B testing. So again, coming back to my favorite topic of best practices, and I think HubSpot was the first search that came across. Yeah, so just I'll share the link anyways with you. But yeah, there's one point in this which I actually wanted to talk about specifically. Basically it was like, don't use it like this, it might be an issue. So I just wanted to quickly check that if I have covered it or not. Yes, this was the one. Actually, make sure that you're only running one test at a time on any campaign, so it would be a problem. Okay, so just read over here. I'll send it across. Basically what it says is, don't mix and match A and B testing on the campaigns even if you are not using it for a similar asset. Okay, don't do that. So this is I wanted
Yeah.
to talk. Yeah, just to make sure everybody's aware. I'll share this link anyways. But yeah, this I wanted to cover before moving on from our beloved A and B testing. Okay, and as I said, this A and B testing is an industry standard word, so that not necessarily Salesforce Marketing Cloud terminology. This is industry terminology. Everybody says that A and B testing is split testing like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Pankaj.